Owning a home might feel like the ultimate dream, but did you know that in some parts of the United States, saving for a down payment alone could take over 20 years, based on the average salary? And that's not even counting closing costs, property taxes, or the 2836 rule lenders swear by to determine what you can afford. The housing market is more competitive than ever, and the numbers might surprise you. In this video, how much money do you need to buy a house in your state? We'll break down the financial requirements to buy a home across America. From understanding how much money you need to save to learning what your salary can afford, this is your ultimate guide to the real costs of homeownership. Drawing from reliable sources like Zillow, Realtor.com, and Forbes, this video provides a data-driven overview of average down payments, closing costs, and the hidden expenses that catch many buyers off guard. We'll also explore how market conditions and local regulations can affect these costs, and why consulting a real estate expert is always a smart move. So, can you afford your dream home? Or is it time to embrace life with a roommate and a goldfish? Stick around to get the full breakdown and prepare yourself for one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This could be the most valuable real estate guide you'll ever watch. Alabama. In Alabama, the median home price is around $256,000. A 6% down payment means you'll need $15,360, and closing costs range from $5,120 to $12,800. According to Zillow, that's before you even start thinking about property taxes. Affordable? Sure, but do you love humidity in college football? If yes, roll tide into homeownership. Alaska. Alaska's median home price is $345,000, with a $20,700 down payment and closing costs of $6,900 to $17,250. According to Realtor.com, those costs might chill your wallet, much like Alaska's winters. Are you ready to trade high expenses for stunning glaciers and moose neighbors? Arizona. At $400,000, Arizona homes require $24,000 down and $8,000 to $20,000 in closing costs. Forbes notes the market is heating up, literally and figuratively. Can you handle the desert heat, or will your dreams of homeownership evaporate faster than a phoenix puddle? Arkansas. Arkansas homes average $200,000, with $12,000 down and $4,000 to $10,000 in closing costs. According to Zillow, it's one of the most affordable states. But does affordable also mean trading Wi-Fi for wildlife? What's your take on rural charm? California. With a jaw-dropping median home price of $700,000, your down payment would be $42,000, plus $14,000 to $35,000 in closing costs. According to Forbes, California's housing market is not for the faint of wallet. Ready to pay big for sunshine? Or is your budget screaming, California, dream on? Colorado. Colorado's median home price is $550,000, with a $33,000 down payment and $11,000 to $27,500 in closing costs. According to Zillow, the breathtaking mountains come with breathtaking expenses. Are the views worth it, or would you rather hike to an affordable rental? Connecticut. At $350,000, Connecticut homes need a $21,000 down payment and $7,000 to $17,500 in closing costs. Realtor.com says the charm is real, but so are the taxes. Love historic homes, or is this state too much like a high-maintenance partner? Delaware. Delaware homes cost around $325,000, with $19,500 down and $6,500 to $16,250 in closing costs. According to Zillow, it's tax-friendly, but don't forget beach traffic. Can you picture a backyard barbecue, or is the small size a deal-breaker? Florida. At $350,000, Florida homes require $21,000 down and $7,000 to $17,500 in closing costs. Forbes reminds us to budget for hurricanes, too. Is Florida's sunshine calling your name, or is the humidity saying, no thanks? Georgia. Georgia homes average $300,000, with an $18,000 down payment and $6,000 to $15,000 in closing costs. According to Realtor.com, it's sweet tea and southern charm. But can your wallet handle the sweet surprise of property taxes? Hawaii. The median home price is a staggering $800,000 with a $48,000 down payment and $16,000 to $40,000 in closing costs. Zillow warns the paradise tax is real. Is this where you find your aloha spirit? Or is it more aloha, not today? Idaho. Idaho homes cost about $400,000, meaning a $24,000 down payment and $8,000 to $20,000 in closing costs. According to Forbes, the potato state has a growing housing market. So, are you ready to dig deep into your savings, or will you mash that dream? Illinois. With a median home price of $275,000, you're looking at $16,500 down and $5,500 to $13,750 in closing costs. Realtor.com warns property taxes here can hit hard. Can you handle the deep dish of expenses, or is it time to Chicago somewhere else? Indiana. At $225,000, Indiana homes need a $13,500 down payment and $4,500 to $11,250 in closing costs. Zillow says it's one of the more affordable states. But is Hoosier heart ready for affordable housing or scared off by snow-filled winters? Iowa. Iowa homes average $200,000 with a $12,000 down payment and $4,000 to $10,000 in closing costs. Forbes highlights its low cost of living, but does the thought of endless cornfields keep you up at night? Are affordable homes worth the view? Kansas. At $225,000, homes in Kansas require $13,500 down and $4,500 to $11,250 in closing costs. Realtor.com says the housing market here is steady. Ready to click your heels together and call Kansas home, or is Dorothy on her own? Kentucky. Kentucky homes cost about $220,000, meaning $13,200 down and $4,400 to $11,000 in closing costs. Zillow loves the bluegrass state's affordability. Are you prepared to trade horse racing and bourbon for surprisingly manageable housing costs? Louisiana. With a median price of $240,000, Louisiana homes need $14,400 down and $4,800 to $12,000 in closing costs. According to Realtor.com, it's one of the more wallet-friendly options. Can you handle the bayou lifestyle, or does the idea of gators give you pause? Maine. With a median home price of $300,000, Maine requires an $18,000 down payment and $6,000 to $15,000 in closing costs. According to Zillow, it's a nature lover's paradise. Can you see yourself enjoying fresh lobster and coastal views, or are you more of a city slicker? Maryland. Maryland homes average $400,000, meaning a $24,000 down payment and $8,000 to $20,000 in closing costs. Realtor.com highlights its blend of history and modern living. Is the proximity to DC worth the price tag, or are you ready to head for the hills? Massachusetts. At $500,000, Massachusetts homes demand a $30,000 down payment and $10,000 to $25,000 in closing costs. According to Forbes, it's pricey, but packed with charm. Can you stomach the cost for a slice of Boston's history, or is it just wicked expensive? Michigan. Michigan's median home price is $250,000, requiring $15,000 down and $5,000 to $1,200 in closing costs. Zillow calls it an affordable Midwest gem. Are the Great Lakes calling your name, or are you too frozen by the thought of winter heating bills? Minnesota. At $325,000, homes in Minnesota need $19,500 down and $6,500 to $16,250 in closing costs. Realtor.com highlights its family-friendly appeal. Ready to embrace the land of 10,000 lakes? Or is that just too much water for your taste? Mississippi. Mississippi homes cost about $200,000, meaning $12,000 down and $4,000 to $10,000 in closing costs. Forbes says it's one of the most affordable states. Can you handle the southern charm and slower pace, or does that affordability come with too much humidity? Missouri. Missouri's median home price is $225,000, requiring $13,500 down and $4,500 to $11,250 in closing costs. Zillow notes its cost of living is hard to beat. Is the show me state showing you a home you can afford, or is it time to keep looking? Are you finding these numbers eye-opening? If you're enjoying this breakdown of housing costs and want to see how your dream state compares, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all things real estate. Let us know in the comments which state you're rooting for. Your feedback helps us bring you even more valuable content. Montana. Montana homes cost $350,000 on average, with a $20,000 down payment and $7,000 to $17,500 in closing costs. According to Realtor.com, it's great for outdoor lovers. Is big sky country your dream, or is the price tag a mountain you can't climb? Nebraska. Nebraska homes average $225,000, with a $13,500 down payment and $4,500 to $11,250 in closing costs. According to Zillow, this state offers affordability and plenty of open space. Are you ready to embrace the Cornhusker state, or is all that flat land making you hesitate? Nevada. With a median home price of $400,000, Nevada requires $24,000 down and $8,000 to $20,000 in closing costs. Realtor.com highlights the booming housing market, especially near Las Vegas. Are you betting on Nevada, or is the desert heat raising the stakes too high? New Hampshire. At $400,000, homes in New Hampshire need $24,000 down and $8,000 to $20,000 in closing costs. According to Forbes, the state offers charm and tax benefits. Are you ready for cozy winters by the fireplace, or is the cost of living freezing your dreams? New Jersey. New Jersey's median home price is $450,000, meaning $27,000 down and $9,000 to $22,500 in closing costs. Zillow warns of high property taxes but praises its proximity to NYC. Are you in for boardwalks and bagels, or is Jersey too taxing on your wallet? New Mexico. New Mexico homes average $275,000, requiring $16,500 down and $5,500 to $13,750 in closing costs. Realtor.com calls it a haven for affordable housing. Can you picture desert sunsets, or is the land of enchantment not enchanting enough for your budget? New York. With a median home price of $500,000, New York requires $30,000 down and $10,000 to $25,000 in closing costs. According to Zillow, it's the price you pay for the Empire State experience. Are you dreaming of city life, or headed upstate for something more affordable? North Carolina. North Carolina's median home price is $325,000, meaning $19,500 down and $6,500 to $16,250 in closing costs. Forbes highlights its mix of city and rural charm. Is the Tar Heel State calling your name, or is it too much for your budget to handle? North Dakota. At $250,000, North Dakota homes require $15,000 down and $5,000 to $12,500 in closing costs. Realtor.com points out its low cost of living. Are you ready for affordability, or does the thought of freezing winters have you second-guessing? Ohio. Ohio's median home price is $225,000, requiring a $13,500 down payment and $4,500 to $11,250 in closing costs. Zillow highlights its affordability and central location. Are you ready to call the Buckeye State home, or does the Midwest lifestyle feel a bit too middle of the road? Oklahoma. Oklahoma homes average $200,000, with a $12,000 down payment and $4,000 to $10,000 in closing costs. According to Forbes, it's one of the most affordable housing markets in the country. Is Oklahoma where you'll plant your roots, or is Tornado Alley giving you second thoughts? Oregon. With a median home price of $450,000, Oregon requires $27,000 down and $9,000 to $22,500 in closing costs. Realtor.com praises its natural beauty but warns of a high cost of living. Are you ready to trade your budget for those scenic hikes and craft beer vibes? Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's median home price is $275,000, meaning $16,500 down and $5,500 to $13,750 in closing costs. According to Zillow, it's a great mix of affordability and history. Can you see yourself walking cobblestone streets, or does the thought of Philly cheesesteaks tempt your wallet more than the housing market? Rhode Island. At $375,000, Rhode Island homes need $22,500 down and $7,500 to $18,750 in closing costs. Realtor.com calls it a coastal gem with plenty of charm. Is the Ocean State's beauty worth the price, or does the idea of tiny spaces in the smallest state make you pause? South Carolina. South Carolina's median home price is $300,000, requiring $18,000 down and $6,000 to $15,000 in closing costs. According to Forbes, it's an attractive option for retirees and families. Are you dreaming of Charleston sunsets, or is the humidity making you think twice? South Dakota. At $250,000, South Dakota homes require $15,000 down and $5,000 to $12,500 in closing costs. Zillow highlights its affordable market and quiet lifestyle. Are you ready to settle in the land of Mount Rushmore, or is it too quiet for your taste? Tennessee. Tennessee's median home price is $325,000, with a $19,500 down payment and $6,500 to $16,250 in closing costs. Realtor.com praises its mix of music, mountains, and affordability. Can you see yourself calling Tennessee home, or is it just too country for you? Texas. Texas homes have a median price of $325,000, meaning $19,500 down and $6,500 to $16,250 in closing costs. According to Forbes, the Lone Star State's booming economy makes it attractive, but those property taxes can sting. Are you ready for big skies and even bigger expenses? Utah. With a median home price of $450,000, Utah requires $27,000 down and $9,000 to $22,500 in closing costs. Zillow highlights its strong market and outdoor appeal. Are you ready to invest in a slice of those stunning canyons, or is the price a little too steep? Vermont. At $350,000, Vermont homes need a $21,000 down payment and $7,000 to $70,500 in closing costs. Realtor.com calls it a haven for nature lovers. Is maple syrup and small-town charm enough to lure you, or is the cost making you stick to the city? Virginia. Virginia's median home price is $400,000, with $24,000 down and $8,000 to $20,000 in closing costs. According to Forbes, the state balances history and modern living. Are you ready for historic charm and DC proximity, or is the housing market just too colonial? Washington. Washington homes average $500,000, requiring $30,000 down and $10,000 to $25,000 in closing costs. Zillow praises its economy, but warns of sky-high prices. Are the lush forests and tech-driven lifestyle worth the cost, or is the rain dampening your enthusiasm? West Virginia. West Virginia's median home price is $200,000, meaning $12,000 down and $4,000 to $10,000 in closing costs. Realtor.com highlights its affordability and scenic beauty. Ready to trade big city life for mountains and low costs, or is it too off the grid for you? Wisconsin. At $250,000, Wisconsin homes require $15,000 down and $5,000 to $12,500 in closing costs. Forbes calls it a Midwest gem with low costs. Is the cheese state calling your name, or are the snowy winters too much for your dreams of homeownership? Wyoming. Wyoming's median home price is $300,000, requiring $18,000 down and $6,000 to $15,000 in closing costs. Zillow praises its quiet charm and open spaces. Are you ready for cowboy country, or is the isolation making you want to lasso your plans? Thanks for sticking with me to the end of this deep dive into how much money you need to buy a house in your state. Whether you're ready to start saving, exploring mortgage options, or just dreaming about your future home, remember, knowledge is power. And now, you're one step closer to making informed decisions. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who's also house hunting. And don't forget to subscribe to Virtual Travel by Brian for more insights into real estate, affordable living, and making your dream home a reality. Got questions or tips for saving faster? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy house hunting, and I'll see you in the next video.